Hi guys, pretty much I did the open box review and I'm waiting to hear back from Richard, Amazing Plastic, on the release date on that one. So I decided to barrel on ahead with the Let's Build of the Tamiya M41 Walker Bulldog, and instead of doing the camera in camera thing, because that's what this is for, my camera rig, I've decided to move the camera from its tripod to this, and so you get to see it more close up. And I've already gone ahead and done a few things on it. Mostly cut the wheels off, and that's pretty much it. Did some line testing, and so this is where she sits right now. She's missing this wheel because I'm missing one of the rubber O-rings for it, but that's not a problem. I can easily scratch build an O-ring. The wheel's actually here, so what I'm going to do is probably glue the wheel in place, but the problem is I can't because it's the track guide wheel. This is the drive wheel, so I've got to be extremely careful about how and where I set the track, because the teeth are of a certain pattern. So that's the only problem. I've also dry fitted the barrel to check for warpness, mold lines, etc, etc. That's all I've done. And the turret, taking it off the sprue, and I did a little bit of trim work on it. As you can see, there's still a bit more trim work to go around the sides, and that's pretty much all I've done. But this video isn't about the model, it's about the actual, ironically, model. Now, what I mean by that, it is something that's going to make you think twice about model building in general, and that's not the idea of this video. The idea of this video is to get you to think. And I'm going to start it off with a bunch of questions. That's all, just a couple of simple questions. And question one is, why are you building the model? Are you bored? Is it a childhood memory? Do you remember being driven around in that car, or were you in the army and you drove that tank or flew that jet? Do you like trains and you're setting up a diorama or a track layout and you're trying to emulate a certain town or a certain place from your childhood or your memory, things like that? It's all these initial things that go into the concept of why we do it. Now, I bought this tank simply because I am very lacking in American armor. The only American armor I've really got right now, with the exception of the Walker Bulldog, is a Priest artillery piece. Everything else I've got is German based. I've got a Panzer 38, Panzer 1, Panzer 3, and a Sturmhound. And I really wanted to get some more American armor up there to balance it out. So fingers crossed I'll be getting an M4 Sherman, and then of course you've got to think, well, wait a minute, you've got German armor of World War II, you've got American armor of World War II, what about Soviet? What about, you can list off all these countries you want, and the only answer you're going to get from me is no. I am only going to be doing certain tanks that I like to do. So pretty much, I know that Tamiya do an Easy 8 Sherman, which I will be getting. I know they do an M26 Pershing, which I will be getting. And I know they do an M24 Chaffee, which I will be doing. Why? Because these are all World War II tanks. The Walker Bulldog was a World War II tank. They do a Soviet T-34-85. I have no interest in getting a Soviet T-34-85. If I do, it's most likely going to be used in a diorama, i.e. it's exploded. I'm not being hatred towards the Soviets or anything like that. I really ain't. It's just my personal tastes is Soviet tanks are a dime a dozen. I like the rarer tanks. I know most people will say, well, wait a minute, the Easy 8 Sherman was produced in excess of 48,000. That's not a dime a dozen. No, it's not. But that's all variants, both E2, E4, E6, E8, and I want to say E11. No, the E11 was a prototype. So you get what I'm saying, it covers the whole range. They made just under 100,000 T34s. So T34 compared to an Easy 8 is a dime a dozen. So let's not get into semantics. That's not what this video is about. This video is about why you build models. If you can ask yourself the most basic question of why did you buy this model? What is this model for? Is it for a static piece? Are you just going to put it on a nice little wood display base, put it on a shelf, and maybe show it off to your grandkids? Or are you going to put it in a diorama? Okay, if you're going to put it in a diorama, what about aftermarket parts? Because you're going to need them. Do you have the right amount of figures? Are you going to need to buy more figures? Okay, fine. To me, I do sell figures in that scale. Great. Problem is, they're not what I want for diorama. You know, photo etch. Are you going to go with photo etch? Are you going to light the model? There is so many questions that need to be answered before you even buy the kit. Before you even grab your glues or your sprue or your file or your friggin', you know, putty or whatever, before you even grab a single thing and start to work on the model, you have to have a design in your head or on paper of what you want to do. Now bear in mind, if you're a professional model maker, like I'm trying to be, I am actually trying to become a professional model maker. Hence the Star Wars diorama I'm doing. As you can see, this, I'm actually thinking about putting it up for sale. It's not finished yet, but it's getting there. Now what you got to ask yourself is, am I building it for myself? Am I building it for a loved one like I did with the F8 Crusader? Am I building it for a customer like I did with the D7 Klingon, which is waiting on decals and then it's going to be weathered and then it's going to be shipped to the customer? Or are you doing it just for yourself? And if you're doing it just for yourself, most people won't bother doing things like photo etch, custom decals, camouflage patterns. They won't research. I'd rather just build it right out the box. Now, one of the things that I loathe about Tamiya, but I also like at the same time, is they print them in the actual colours. This is American OD green, or the basis of it. So you just need to do a heavy pre-shade, a primer, pre-shade, and then your main colour, and then you're done. Well, see, the problem with that is granted, it speeds up the model's production time, but you lose a lot in creativity. And that's what most people always tend to forget. It's about creativity. When you're creating a model or a diorama or whatever, okay, you are telling a story. Like with my F4U Corsair Let's Build series. It's now got its base, it's now got, you know, it's in flight, and I love it. It sits on my desk. I may decide to do a little bit more weathering to it at a later stage, but she's in essence done, finished, kaput. She's done. However, what you guys got to understand is for each model, you're telling a story, okay, guys? And with this tank, this Walker Bulldog, I'm not sure. At first, I was actually thinking about doing this Walker Bulldog as a generic on-the-shelf model, you know, all looking pretty and yeah, you know. And then parts of me were like, no, do it blown up, you know, do it with the turret, you know, crooked to one side, it's on fire, the crew's bailed out and they're running for their life, you know. Or, you know, and that's when you get the ideas. Before I even ripped the cellophane off to do the open box review videos, I sat there with a notepad on my computer typing up ideas of what I wanted to do with this Walker Bulldog. And I'm still deciding on what I want to do with this Walker Bulldog. Hence, that's why I've only gotten to a certain point in the instructions, which is just basically rolling chassis, which is suspension's done, internal compartments are done. Now there's no detail in the compartments, which is a bit of a shame because I was thinking about doing it while it's being under maintenance. I may even do it because it's got that damaged wheel. I may even do it that it's thrown a track and it's getting its drive gear replaced. I may do that. I may look around and see if there's any 1/35 scale figurines of mechanics, and just paint them up to look like GIs working on a tank in the field. Or again, you know, there's a whole story that you can tell. Each model kit is a story, and this is what I know this video is going to go on for a bit of a length, and I do apologize if this turns into a rant, if you will. And I know you can see, you know, there's a Reliant right there. There's, you know, a Revel Motorworks Mustang there. There's another Mustang in that box up there. There's an Enterprise refit in the box up there. There's an SR-71 Blackbird in between two Star Trek model kits. I build a whole diverse range of model kits. But before I do that, even when I'm commissioned to build a model, the first thing I ask the customer is, what's the story? Not what is the kit, what is the story? Are you telling a story, a specific story about a specific tank, plane, jet, whatever? You know, if you are, I'm going to have to start researching the captain, the commander, the pilot, and then go from there. I'm going to have to contact my friends at the Department of Defense and see if any of their stuff's still classified. If not, put in an application for a Freedom of Information Act and then go from there. Yes, that's the sort of level that I do, guys. When it's a specific tank, I look for the commander, I look for the driver, I look for the loader, I look for the radio operator, I look for the history of the tank. Where is the tank now? Was it decommissioned? Was it destroyed? Was it sold to a foreign nation? If so, what nation? Where is it now in that nation's army? Was it decommissioned? Was it used for scrap? Was it used for parts? Is it sitting out in an ordnance range getting shot at by M1A1s or M1A2s, or God forbid, you know, 155 artillery SPGs? You know, what? You know, is it sitting out in a desert as a burning husk from the Iraqi-Iran war? Where is this tank? Where is this jet? Where is that plane? Where is this boat? I even do it for destroyers, frigates, submarines, you name it. But that's the thing you've got to understand, guys. This is why modelers out there pay us to do it for you, because we do so much stuff behind that goes beyond what you see on a camera, in a video, and in a model. You've got to understand the ethics of a modeler. To us, we're telling stories. You're paying us to tell you a story, and we do thank you for that. We thank you for the money. At least I do. I'm not cheap, but I'm not too expensive when it concerns model building. And no, I'm not going to panhandle for work on my videos. That's not how I roll. I roll in a completely different way, which is if you like what I'm building, like my direction, what I do, my style, you know, hit me up on YouTube. Send me a private message. You've got my Gmail. It's malivictus@gmail.com, you know. We can talk turkey, go on Google+, join one of the Hangouts, ask me directly. Hey, what do you think of this project idea? What do you think of that project? I'll give you my honest, upfront, no holds barred, uncensored, whatever you want to hear. Well, not what you ever want to, but what you hear. And this is going to be a fun little build. I have some other projects on the go too, which I will be doing videos of, but mostly just showing, not actually doing let's builds on them, because, well, frankly, they're customers and I'm not going to do that. And this video has been going on for almost 15 minutes, and if you stuck with me for this long, thank you. And this is the point I'm trying to make to you guys. When it concerns model building, it's not just necessarily, "Ooh, I want that kit, buy the kit," and you leave it on a shelf like, "Oh, I got it." You know, if you bought the kit because you wanted to build it, build the bloody kit. Don't leave it on a shelf gathering dust. Don't buy the kit to hold on to it for 10, 15 years hoping it's going to go up in value, and only to find out that the kit's been retooled 6, 7 times and it's only worth less than what you paid for it originally. You know, build the damn kit. Okay? They were meant to be built. They were meant to be enjoyed. And so all I can say, guys, is this is officially part 1 of the Let's Build of the, to me, an M41 Walker Bulldog. Now why is that? Well, it's called Concept, and this is what it is, part 1 of the concept. You know, I'm going to leave this as a rent video here. I'll do the part 1 after this.